My ex-husband swore he'd attend our 5-year-old son's birthday celebration, but at the last minute, he texted me saying something unexpected came up. Later, I discovered he skipped it to go on a getaway with a woman he connected with on a dating app. I'm a 30-year-old single mom, raising our 5-year-old son with my ex-husband, who's 31. We split 2 years ago, and our co-parenting arrangement has been rocky at best. Our marriage fell apart primarily due to his irresponsibility and lack of commitment. Even during our time together, he'd often dodge family obligations, leaving me to manage everything. I hoped the divorce would jolt him into being a better father, but that hasn't happened. Our agreement gives him custody every other weekend and some holidays, but he's unreliable. He claims he wants to be involved, yet frequently cancels plans with our son for weak excuses. I've stayed quiet to keep things civil and to preserve our son's chance at a relationship with his dad. This time, though, he crossed a line. Our son turned 5, thrilled beyond words for his birthday party. I organized a modest gathering at home with his preschool friends and some relatives. The party was set for Saturday afternoon. Months earlier, I invited my ex, believing it was crucial for our son to have both parents there. He assured me repeatedly he'd show up, promising he wouldn't miss it for anything. His enthusiasm convinced me, despite his history. Our son couldn't stop talking about how daddy's coming to my party for weeks. His excitement was palpable. On the day of the party, everything was ready: decorations, cake, games, kids laughing and playing. My ex said he'd arrive early to help and spend extra time with our son. By 1:30 p.m. he hadn't arrived. I called, no answer, texted, no reply. I feared he'd flake, but I clung to hope he wouldn't let his son down on such a special day. At 2:00 p.m., when he was supposed to be there, I got a brief text. "Sorry, something came up, can't make it." No details, no apology to our son, nothing. I was furious. I stepped into the kitchen to compose myself, barely containing my anger. Meanwhile, our son kept asking, "Where's Daddy? Is he almost here?" I reassured him, "I'm sure he'll show up soon," not wanting to ruin his day. I watched our son glance at the door or window every few minutes, hoping to see his dad. I kept wishing he'd walk in, even as hope faded. He never appeared, not during the party, not later that evening. He didn't even call to wish our son a happy birthday. He vanished for the entire weekend. When our son blew out his candles, he whispered, "I wish Daddy was here." My heart shattered. I kept a brave face for the guests and kids, but inside I was devastated for my son. After everyone left, he asked why his dad didn't come. I lied, saying Daddy had an emergency, unable to tell a 5-year-old the truth. It felt wrong to cover for my ex, but I didn't know what else to say. As our son went to bed clutching a toy his dad had mailed, too busy to deliver in person, he asked why Daddy didn't bring it himself. I had no good answer. Later, I let my anger fully surface. That night, a friend revealed what my ex was really doing. He'd met someone on a dating app and chose that day for a romantic weekend trip. He skipped his son's 5th birthday for a fling with a stranger. When I saw a social media post of him at a resort with this woman, I was enraged. This wasn't an emergency. It was a deliberate choice to prioritize his desires over his child. This wasn't the first time he'd disappointed our son, but it was the worst. Over the past year, he's canceled at least 4 weekend visits because he was busy or exhausted. He missed our son's preschool event because he forgot. He's been late or absent for daycare pickups multiple times, forcing me or my parents to step in. Once, he left our son waiting with his backpack for an hour because he chose a concert over their plans. He even skipped a Father's Day event we'd arranged, leaving our son confused and hurt. Each time, I've had to rearrange my life to cover for him, and our son's heart broke a little more. I've held back my frustration, hoping to foster their bond, believing a child needs their father. I thought he'd eventually step up if I stayed patient. But seeing our son's face after his dad missed his birthday broke something in me. I'm done letting this man hurt our child. On Monday, I'll contact a lawyer to file for full custody. We technically share joint custody, but I handle nearly all parenting responsibilities: doctor visits, school, meals, bedtime. My ex gets the fun weekends but rarely takes them. I've documented every missed visit and excuse. I'm done with his broken promises. Full custody means he can't keep stringing our son along. If he wants to see him, it'll be supervised on my terms and only if he's consistent. I haven't told my ex yet. He likely has no idea this is coming. He's used to me forgiving his apologies, but not this time. This was too much. You don't crush a child's birthday and walk away unscathed. Some might think I'm overreacting by pursuing full custody. His family will probably call me vindictive. But this is about protecting my son. He deserves a father who shows up, or at least one who doesn't make promises he won't keep. I can't keep watching his disappointment. I'm ready to take this step. Am I wrong for filing for full custody after my ex promised to attend our son's birthday and ditched him for a date? Update 1: It's been a few days, and I've taken action. On Monday, I called my lawyer to start the process of filing for full custody, as planned. But before the legal steps escalate, I decided to confront my ex directly. I called him. He hadn't bothered to reach out to me or our son since the party. He answered casually, as if nothing was wrong. I asked why he skipped our son's birthday. He tried to brush it off, claiming a work issue forced him to cancel. I wasn't buying it. I told him I knew he was on a romantic trip with a woman from a dating app. He went quiet, then got defensive, accusing me of prying into his life, as if his public social media posts were some secret I'd uncovered. I stayed calm and told him how much he hurt our son, describing how our boy waited, looked for him, and made a birthday wish for his dad. His response, he scoffed, saying our son is just 5 and would get over it. I was livid. This wasn't a minor oversight, it was his son's birthday, a memory that matters to a child. I told him that if he thinks this is no big deal, he doesn't deserve to be a parent. I laid it all out. I was done tolerating his behavior and had contacted a lawyer to pursue full custody. I explained that I wouldn't let him keep breaking our son's heart for fleeting hookups. He exploded, calling me names and accusing me of trying to steal his son. He claimed the courts wouldn't side with me over one missed birthday. He also threw my past words in my face, saying I'd always wanted our son to have both parents, so I was being a hypocrite. That might have stung before, but not now. I reminded him this wasn't a one-time issue, it's a pattern. I told him I've documented every failure. He shifted from anger to panic, realizing I was serious. He tried to backtrack, promising we could work it out and swearing he was sorry. I told him it was too late for empty words, my lawyer would handle it. I hung up before I lost my temper completely. He tried calling back, but I ignored him. I met with my lawyer that day to begin the custody modification process. She's optimistic about our case, given the evidence of his consistent neglect. The social media posts from his getaway during the birthday will not look good for him. My lawyer suggested requesting supervised visitation until he proves reliability, which I think is fair. I told my family what's happening. My parents fully support me, having seen our son's pain firsthand. A friend said it's about time I stopped excusing my ex's behavior, which felt affirming. My ex's mother, however, left me a furious voicemail, claiming I'm wrong to keep her son from his child over a misunderstanding. I saved the message. It shows the kind of enablers he has. I didn't respond. The paperwork is being prepared and my ex will soon be served with the court notice. I don't think he fully believes I'll follow through. He's used to me letting things slide. But I'm done. This is about my son's well-being and I won't back down. Update 2: It's been about a week and things have intensified. My ex was served with the custody modification papers a few days ago, and it hit him hard. He went from dismissive to desperate. He started bombarding me with calls and texts after a week of silence. I ignored the first few calls, unwilling to hear more excuses or anger. His voicemail swung from rage, accusing me of ruining his life to near tears, begging me to talk. It was a stark contrast. I let him wait a day, then yesterday evening, he showed up at my house unannounced. I wasn't shocked, but I wasn't prepared either. My mom was there, thankfully, and I had our son start his bedtime routine. I stepped outside to confront my ex on the porch. He immediately broke down, apologizing profusely in a trembling voice. He begged me not to pursue full custody, swearing he'd do anything to fix things. He admitted he messed up and said he'd change. He promised to go to therapy, delete dating apps, and prioritize our son. He even confessed that his fling from the birthday weekend fizzled out, so he'd thrown away his son's day for nothing. I stayed composed. I told him he's had countless chances, and I've been more than patient for 2 years while our son suffered. I pointed out that his remorse only surfaced because of the legal consequences, not because he truly cared. He insisted this time would be different, but I've heard that before. I told him the custody process is moving forward, and it's no longer in my hands to stop, though technically I could, but I won't without proof of change. I said if he wants to be in our son's life, he must prove it consistently over time. For now, I'm not budging. He asked to see our son to say goodnight. I allowed it, supervised, since our son was still awake and curious. Seeing our boy light up for his dad was bittersweet. My ex gave him a quick hug and a belated birthday wish before leaving. After putting our son to bed, I reflected. It's tragic it took this for my ex to show remorse. Whether it's genuine or just fear, I'm skeptical. The legal process continues, and my lawyer says it could take months for a final ruling. We'll likely face mediation or a hearing next. If my ex wants to keep any rights, he'll need to prove himself. Tears and promises won't cut it, only sustained effort will. Some might wonder if his apologies will sway me. They won't, not without real change. My son's stability comes first. Final update: it's been a few months, and I'm ready to share the outcome. We went through mediation and a brief court hearing to finalize the custody arrangement. Facing my ex in that setting was nerve-wracking, but I knew I was fighting for my son's best interests. I was awarded full custody. In mediation, my ex initially claimed I was blowing things out of proportion, calling the birthday incident a one-off. But I came armed with evidence, logs of every missed visit, texts of his cancellations, and those damning social media posts from his getaway. When the mediator saw the pattern, my ex's defense crumbled. He agreed to most of my terms to avoid a drawn-out court battle he'd likely lose. The final agreement, approved by the judge, grants me sole legal and primary physical custody. I make all decisions for our son, and my home is his primary residence. My ex received limited supervised visitation, twice monthly at a family visitation center, every other Saturday for a few hours with a professional present. The first supervised visit felt odd, but our son was thrilled to see his dad and play, regardless of the setting. That's what matters. The judge set it up to give my ex a chance to prove reliability in a controlled environment, protecting our son from further disappointment. My ex seemed almost relieved, likely realizing this was the best he could get. His mother was upset about the supervised visits, but even she admitted he brought this on himself. She's reportedly pushing him to make the most of it. The judge gave my ex a stern talk about parental responsibility. He just nodded, knowing he had no ground to stand on. So far, he's attended both supervised visits on time. It's a small start, and I'm cautiously hopeful. The structure and oversight seem to help him follow through. If he misses a visit, the staff will report it, and I can shield our son from the fallout. Life feels calmer now. Having full decision-making power for things like school and healthcare without chasing my ex is a relief. Our son is doing well. He's resilient. I've kept the custody details vague, telling him Daddy will have special playdates at the center. He's accepted it. I don't speak ill of his father to him. My issues with my ex don't change what our son deserves to feel. I've noticed our son seems more settled, no longer waiting anxiously for his dad. The predictable schedule, even if limited, is better than the chaos of broken promises. I'm satisfied with the outcome. It's not the ideal co-parenting I once envisioned, but it's what's real. My ex had every chance to step up, and he didn't. Now, our son's stability is on my terms. If my ex wants to be a father, he'll need to prove it with consistent effort over time. I hope he does for our son's sake, but I'm not counting on it. Our son is surrounded by love from me and my family, and I know he'll be okay, whether his dad becomes reliable or not. I have no regrets about fighting for him,